Big welcome to another FafNir guide. Today's guide is about Labrynth, and actually this is a second part of the old previous Labrynth guide that I made months ago. If you totally new to Labrynth, I suggest watch the first part. It includes Labrynth profile, lot of tricks and chaining guide that are required to use in Labrynth, or else you might messed up big time playing this. Labrynth just got two new powerful support card, Big Welcome Labrynth and Lady Labrynth. Big Welcome Labrynth is basically Welcome Labrynth, but it can special summon any Labrynth monster from deck, hand, or graveyard, while Welcome only able from deck means you can also revive your dead Lovely from graveyard. And that's the reason why playing one Lovely is enough. After its summon, you can immediately return one any monster on your field to hand. And as I explained in the previous guide, most of Labrynth cards have a trigger effect whenever a monster leave the field by a normal trap cards. Thus Big Welcome is basically a Welcome Labrynth plus compulsory combine into one card. And another cool thing is, Big Welcome doesn't restrict you to only summon a fiend monster, while Welcome Labrynth did. Lady Labrynth, you can special summon this card anytime you want, after any Labrynth cards was activated, or any normal trap was activated. While on the field, if you control a set card, Lady is untargetable and indestructible by card effects. But do keep in mind, if you only have one set trap card and was about to activate it, by the time that set card is face up, Lady is losing the protection. When the normal trap card activated, you can chain this card's effect to set any normal trap card directly from deck to field. I remind you again that it's used the word when. So if your opponent's response to your trap activation by using cards other than normal trap card, you won't be able to chain Lady effects. If you confuse about this part, you can check this short video where I explain the difference between if and when. This effects turn this deck into a walking trap trick. Thus we gonna call this kind of behavior trap tricking. Those are the two new support that turn this deck into a tier 1 meta deck in masterduel currently. And also an old card that I haven't explained in the previous guide. CooClock, it has a quick effect to discard itself. It can allow you to activate one trap card that just set in that same turn, but only if you control a Labrynth monster on your field. Don't forget this part, or you might messed up like I did. Someone in the comments actually reminding me about that, much appreciated. It also have a trigger effect while in the graveyard, whenever you activate the furniture card or normal trap card that discard a card from hand as a cost. Remember, it must be as a cost. It's only for trap cards that discard a card before the effect resolve. So cards like Dynamiscus that discard card when the effect resolve doesn't count, but usually we use our furniture cards instead to recover our CooClock back. Here's the current deck list that I use in Ranked Duel. Apparently there are two versions of Labrynth, the trap heavy version and furniture version, linked to Decklist in description. The difference is, the trap heavy version plays more trap card, it also plays some floodgate like skill drain and go zen match, and it also have back row protection like Heavenly Prison. It's a no-brain deck where you can just set your trap cards and pass, but this kind of version is the one that most going first combo deck fears, that all of your trap card will be online next turn. But the cons is, once you are out of trap cards in your possession while your opponent still prevail, you will lose the upper hand faster, and it also lacks resources recovery. While furniture version is more consistent to make play with Labrynth, and it's focused to trap tricking on opponent's turn, setting the needed trap card from deck and activate it right away. It also able to recover resources easily, but then the cons is, it's weak when going second. It doesn't have any back row protection, and also could be easily killed with a single Ash Blossom. You can still bring Heavenly Prison in furniture version as a protection, but it will jeopardy the consistency a little bit. In my opinion, I still prefer to play furniture version, but have to make sure to bring anti-Ash Blossom cards like Gamma, called Grave or even Gravedigger Trap Hole, or the more expensive one Solemn Strike. But if in your recent play you keep getting going second, I suggest play the trap heavy version, which is good in all around. Here are the list of trap cards that are suitable for this deck. Let's start from the must-have one. Compulsory. One of the cheapest all-rounder trap card for this deck. It can target opponent's monster or your own monster, Best against extra deck monster that are indestructible but targetable like Utopic Draco Future. Ice Dragon Prison. The best non-targetable removal monster, but it requires to special summon a monster that have the same type as the one that you need to remove from the field. Imperm. A normal trap card that are very popular among meta deck. Great for going first or second. Since it's a normal trap card, it has a good synergy with Labrynth trap tricking style. Dogmatica Punishment. Another cheapest choice, one of the reason we have Elder Entis. You can destroy one monster, along with another card on the field after, making it one of the best and popular removal trap card for any trap deck archetype. Epidemic Virus. The virus cards that just got hit recently by the ban list. I got nothing to say about this. You must have this in your deck list while it's still around. Torrential Tribute. Another cheapest trap card, yet very devastating to most deck in this game, since it can untargetably destroying the whole monster field. Keep in mind that lady is only protected from opponent's cards, not your own cards. Next are the meta-dependable traps. Terrors of the Overroot. One of the most expensive yet usable one. It can target any cards on opponent's field, but it requires to set another from their graveyard. Choose wisely when setting the cards or else you could put yourself at a disadvantage against your opponents. Dynamiscus. It's the cheaper version of Terrors, but it requires you to discard a card. Karma Cut. Same like Dynamiscus, but only target face-up monster. The cool thing is if your opponents have the same monster in graveyard, it also banishes them. Good against Tearlaments, but very situational. Deck Devastation Virus. Another virus, great against Sprite, Fluwundries, Ignister, and so on. Full Force Virus. It's basically a mirror of Deck Devastation Virus. Evenly Matched. Cheap and great going second cards, still popular among masterduel decks. Dimensional Barrier. This trap card should be a must-have one, since it can shut down most of combo deck that use extra deck monsters. Except link-based deck like Sprite, Tri-Brigade, and Marincess, but since Tearlament's still a thing in this game, I suggest bring 1 or 2 copies should be enough. If you playing trap-heavy variant, bringing 3 copies is a must. Simul Archfiend. Cheapest version of Dimensional Barrier, but less powerful. It cannot negate the selected monster cards, and it's allowing one card type of the monster cards to be summoned. It weak against Dragon Link and Sprite that can summon multiple monster card type, and also Tearlaments since they can just get away by summoning Kit Kalos and pass the turn, but the good thing is it can shut down a lot of combo decks like Marincess, Tri-Brigade, and also the upcoming new Tier 0, Kashtira. Vivid Tale. I'm not sure about this one, but just to let you know that this card exist.
Get the out!
Another good monster removal, but it can only targets extra deck monsters. Ledger Book. In my opinion, this one is better compared to Get Out, since it can target any monster your opponents had, but the effects only last until end phase. And lastly, this 3 cards that will be added in the future. Daruma Karma Cannon, another one-turn floodgate that I believe could shut down the whole turn of any combo decks. Trap Tracks, a better version of Trap Trick. Transaction Rollback, one of the best trap card recently released in OCG. Best card to be discarded by your furniture, and it can copy any trap card effect that are in the graveyard while in the graveyard. Basically, you have an activatable trap card in your graveyard just like Big Welcome. That's all of the trap card list that I recommend to be played in this deck. It's all thanks to the people in Master Duel Meta Discord Labrynth channel. Next is the combo section. This deck has some very little combo, but I have to remind you again that this tech is not about how to combo with it, but it's more to how to chain your cards properly to get the maximum results of it. Sometimes you have to choose between chaining your trap cards or not, depends on the situation. But don't worry, I'm gonna guide you on how to do that properly based on my experience with this deck. But first, we're gonna start with the basic combo. Basic turn 1 furniture setup. This can be done with Ariana plus any 1 furniture, or CooClock plus Stovey or Chandra, and also you need to discard 1 card to do that. If you open with Ariana, normal summon it, and search the missing card. If you already have either Stovey or Chandra, add CooClock instead. First, activate your CooClock as chain link 1, and then chain it to your other furniture. This chain order is important, and you're gonna see why later. This is the reason why we have to activate CooClock first and then chain Stovey. If you do it the other way, CooClock won't be able to trigger its special summon, because CooClock needs to be in graveyard to witness the discarding effect by the other furniture. Special summon CooClock. If you click no, it will return to your hand, and now you control a Labrynth monster. You can activate the newly set Big Welcome and summon Lovely. Return CooClock to hand. This will trigger both Lovely and the other furniture you used before in graveyard. Lovely will destroy one card you opponents have. Now activate Lovely effect to reset your Big Welcome Labrynth back to the field, and just set the rest of your trap card from hand. With these, on our opponent's turn, our trap card will become spell speed 4 against monster because of Lovely lingering effects. Our opponents can't respond to our normal trap effects with monster effect, which means if you activate Big Welcome Labrynth, Ash Blossom cannot negate it. As long as Lovely is present on the field, summon any Labrynth you want, and return any monster you want. It will trigger Lovely effects again to destroy another card on opponent's hand. With these combo, we already reduce our opponent's hand to 4, and that's the basic furniture setup you can do. Next is 2.5 cards combo search Maxx. Yes, you can search Maxx with this deck, using between Ariana, CooClock, and it must be Stovey instead of Chandra or else it wouldn't work. Summon Ariana, add the missing furniture from hand. Activate CooClock first, and then chain it to Stovey, set Big Welcome, and just do it like the basic combo. Now at this point, link summon to Sprite Elf using Ariana and Stovey. Special summon Stovey again, and Xe summon to Gigantic Sprite. Summon Maxx from deck, and you can pass the turn. On standby phase, activate Big Welcome, summon anything you want and return Maxx to your hand, and now you have an activatable Maxx on your hand now on opponent's turn. Next is the trap tricking combo you can do with this deck. Any Welcome plus Lady on field. This is the basic trap tricking combo that you can do on opponent's turn. If you have Big Welcome instead, special summon CooClock instead, and return it to your hand, the outcome will be the same. Heavenly Prison plus Welcome Labrynth. This is also another trap tricking combo on opponent's turn. Heavenly Prison plus Big Welcome plus any furniture, another trap tricking, but since we have Big Welcome, we must return the summoned monster to hand, so Ariana, it's not a choice, instead we summon the other furniture. It depends on the furniture you had on your hand. If you have Stovey or Chandra on your hand, special summon CooClock. Activate CooClock, chain Stovey or Chandra, set another welcome. CooClock will special summon to field, so you can activate the newly set card by Heavenly Prison. If you have Lady on your hand, summon it immediately. That's all the combo you can done. This deck is basically about turbo out your needed trap card from deck and activate it right away to caught your opponents off guard. Next are tips and tricks that consist of some usable tech cards, some situational stuff and chain order guide that you must keep in mind when playing this deck. If you have Welcome and Big Welcome, there's a way to play around Ash Blossom. Set both Welcome. And in the next turn, to check whether your opponents have Ash Blossom or not, it's better to activate Welcome first and wait. If there's a response, it will be either Maxx or Ash Blossom. If the guy activate Maxx, ignore it. But we still don't know whether your opponents have Ash Blossom or not, so it's better to let Welcome resolve, and special summon Lovely. After that, you can activate Big Welcome without have to worry about Ash Blossom negating, because Lovely will protecting it, and you also successfully destroy one card from opponent's hand. If you have Welcome and another monster removal trap cards like Compulsory, Punishment, or Ice Dragon Prison, here is how to chain those cards properly in order to get the best results of them. Chain link 1 the removal trap and chain link the Welcome. With these, chain link 2 will resolve first. Summon Lovely from deck. And with that Lovely already present on the field to witness a monster have been removed from field by a normal trap cards, causing you able to activate Lovely trigger effect to destroy one more card. If you have Lady and Imperm on your hand, and if you activate Imperm on opponent's turn, you can special summon Lady from your hand immediately, because Lady stated if a normal trap card activated, you can special summon it. It's not only your normal trap card, but also opponent's trap card can trigger Lady special summon. That's why a mirror match between Labrynth is really complicated, because both sides are benefiting each other. Another normal trap cards that worth mention is Typhoon and Evenly Matched. With Evenly Matched, do not summon your Lady before your Evenly Matched resolve, or else you are giving your opponents an advantage to keep 2 cards on their field. Red Reboot won't trigger Lady effects because it's not a normal trap card, it's a counter trap card. Big Welcome Labrynth. Don't forget that this card also has secondary effect while in the graveyard. It's basically a compulsory, returning one monster you control to your hand. But if you control a level 8 or higher fiend monster, you can actually return not just a monster, but any one card your opponents control to hand. Remember, once you use one of the Big Welcome effect, you can't use the other effect until the end of this turn. Choose wisely. Tech cards Ishizu Shuffler. These tech card is actually depends on meta. It's to counter the current meta Tearlaments. The Shuffler could also help recover some of our Welcome Trap shuffled back to deck, or can be used to dodge called Grave Effect when you activate CooClock from hand. Tech cards A pointer of Red Lotus. Good to get your opponent's hand info and what deck they are playing. Since this a best of one format duel, usually people bring one into their deck, can be used to snipe one card of our opponent's hand. If there's an Ash Blossom, it's better to banish that or else it can negate your welcome trap. Tech cards Wannabee. This card is not in Master Duel yet, but maybe in the future, in some random packs. It's basically a hand extender. It can excavate your deck based on opponent's unused spell trap zone at the end phase, which usually when you go first, all 5 zone are empty, which means you're gonna excavate 5 cards from deck and set 1 trap card from it. Tech cards Bystials. Again, it's to counter Tearlaments meta. Magna Muth and Druisworm should be enough. Another cool thing is, after you summon Bystial, you can use Big Welcome to summon other Labrynth and return that Bystial back to your hand, and you have another activatable Bystial next turn. Tech cards Tri-Brigade. The newest Tri-Brigade support can be combined with Garura using Dogmatica Punishment, since Garura attack points is quite low. If you face a monster that have an attack over 3000, you can use Dogmatica Punishment to destroy it by sending Bucephalus to graveyard, and then Bucephalus will trigger its effect to send another beast-kind monster from extra deck, which is the Garura, and you will draw 1 card. Pot of Duality. Keep in mind if using this card means you can't special summon anymore. Usually just set Welcome along with the other trap cards, and then pass the turn. Its best use in trap-heavy version. Muckracker, newest Link 2 Fiend monster. This card can help revive any of your Labrynth monster in your graveyard, and also protect your Labrynth monster from destruction by tributing 1 Fiend monster, which you can tribute this card instead. Some people like to bring 3 of this in the extra deck, but I think 2 is enough. Underworld Goddess. Your only unaffected monster removal, since Labrynth can special summon so many monster in a turn, it's worth to bring this as a backup plan. Arias the Labrynth Butler. I know this card was just announced recently in OCG. Surely this will be added in the near future. I expect might be at the end of the year. This card allows Labrynth to play on turn 0 consistently. I'll show you how. While on main phase, Butler can discard herself and special summon any Labrynth from hand or set 1 normal trap card. That trap card also activatable on that turn, meaning any disruptive trap card on your hand can be activate on opponent's turn 1. I'll show you another one. A 3-card combo on turn 0. Butler discard herself. Set Big Welcome or Welcome. They'll both do the same thing. Special summon Lady because you activate Labrynth card, and after that, activate that Welcome trap. Chain Lady to set any trap card from deck. You can go for Virus or Dimensional Barrier. Get CooClock to your hand and activate it. With these, now that Virus is online on turn 0, this will make Labrynth becoming tier 0 sooner or later. That's all that I can provide. There might be more tricks that I don't know yet, but if you have one, let us know in the comments section. If you like the guide video, leave a like, subscribe, and share it. See you next time.